I call the Arizona State Board for Private Post-Secondary Education Complaint Committee meeting of September 24th to order. Matters on the agenda may be discussed in executive session for the purpose of obtaining legal advice pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A3. The committee reserves the right to change the order of the agenda items with the exception of hearings, which there are none today. The committee may take legal action on any agenda item. Mr. Blanchard, is there any request for change of the order?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for everybody for joining us today. I just want to remind, this is the complaint committee. This isn't a court of law. There's things we can and can't do. So, we look forward to hearing from everybody today in the audience and on the phone. First item of business, item 2 on our agenda, is the discussion of the complaint committee meeting of June 25th. Does anybody have any recommended changes, or if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion second.
Second?
Second.
Okay. A motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 3 on our agenda is the determination to open and complain Brookline College. Mr. Blanchard.
Mr. Chair, members of the Complaint Committee, at its meeting on May 14th to May 15th, the Arizona State Board of Nursing reviewed an investigative report regarding Brookline College RM program. During the meeting, the Board of Nursing offered a consent agreement for decree of censure regarding a number of issues relating to violation of board rules R4-19203C, 1, 2, and 7. I've listed the specific rules of what those are in the paragraph below the opening paragraph. Staff reviewed the consent agreement and contacted Dr. Johnson Carter regarding the consent agreement. Dr. Johnson Carter submitted a response July 22nd, 2015, which is attached for your review. Here to answer any more of your questions is Roy Hopkins, Campus Director of Brookline College.
I have with me Dr. Carter
Please come up.
and Sean.
Please introduce yourself when you're seated for the record.
Sean Kerrigan, CFO, Brookline College.
Roy Hawkins, President.
Junior Johnson Carter, Dean of Nursing.
All right, thank you. Any opening statements you care to make to the committee?
We had a review. It's been a interesting several months. I think in that censure, what you will see is well before the censure was even sent, we were proactive in answering all of the issues. The school spent $300,000 in capital to build all new offices for every nurse. Built a sim lab, brand new sim lab with all high-tech simulators in that lab to answer all questions. There was only 2 outstanding issues that remained, and both of those we were working on as well. They were more administrative than just product and what have you. And to our knowledge, we sent in and submitted all the answered it. What we sent to them was a request that they notice or notify that we did make the corrections prior to the censure in the censure decree, so people can see that Brookline College is not just sitting back non-responsive and not being proactive in making changes and doing what's right for the students.
Yeah, I think I'd ask you a couple of questions on that vein. It seems like you guys kind of pretty much disagree with the censure because you did go back and you seem to have attacked everything, and there was some substantive issues, that you addressed. And then it kind of shifted gears to the more administrative position, which was basically saying the Dean of Nursing doesn't have autonomy over the program, which I know from running nursing programs in my schools that's a huge issue. But why did you agree with it? Did you feel that was just the simplest way to go? Why did you sign the censure and the consent agreement?
We did get legal consult on that, and the consult said that with the Arizona Board of Nursing, it's probably better to agree by not signing it and taking further action, which only probably create further issues. And even with signing it, that would still happen.
Okay. I figured that. Like I said, no stranger to see with the Board of Nursing. So.
Yeah.
Let's see, I had one other thing I wanted to ask Oh, yeah, this sort of, but how is the program doing now? How are your outcomes? How are things?
That's the confusing part. JC, would you like to discuss
We feel that we
outcomes?
have really good outcomes right now with our program. We have, currently for this year, we're at a 98% NCLEX pass rate.
Pretty outstanding.
And an overall annual for the past 3 years at 93% for our NCLEX pass rate. Yeah, so very good outcomes. Our employment placement rate, 93% consistently annually. And there was some concern over our on-time completion rates. The State Board of Nursing has a specific calculation.
Yeah, well, with
Okay.
100%.
Yes.
And it's
So within
not-
their calculation, we were lower than what we would like. However, we have.
Are you up now? Because the
Yes, we have
standard's
new, absolutely.
47%. so-
Absolutely. So we are projecting to end this year annually at 60%.
That's good,
And
too.
the final cohort will be a 67% on-time completion rate.
Okay.
And that was with just a few modifications that we made. We are implementing even more changes in January of 2016 to help support our students.
As you can see, they did approve, at the previous board
Yes.
meeting, to allow, we're going to move to a 10-semester nursing program instead of 8. We think it was too accelerated when you're asking a underprivileged individual to take 18 to 21 credits per term
Absolutely.
to graduate. So we ourselves moved it out longer at no additional cost to the students to allow them to have more opportunity for tutoring, for study, to even have better outcomes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the letter that I.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. Yeah, it threw me because I said I
I
always
was
saw something.
gonna say something during my little presentation, but I,
Yeah, that's okay. I figured it out. Ms. Leonard?
And
Dr.
we are
Brown?
also the only duly accredited, I believe,
Absolutely. Thank you.
college in the state of Arizona. We have both ACE and CCNE.
Yeah,
Both
I noticed that.
are no stipulations, no findings, perfect standing.
Well, I commend you on those. I haven't seen them in paper, but I take you at face value that those are your rates, and those are pretty outstanding results. So you should be proud of yourselves for
We are
that.
very proud
We're
of
very
our
proud of
results.
what we do.
And keep it going. Nursing programs need work every single minute of every single day. Just my cautionary advice, you know that you guys are in nursing education.
I just had one quick, because so this last letter that just September 24, what is that essentially adding to?
Again, while we entered the decree, they felt it necessary to do additional investigation. We were very cooperative. Again, we are working diligently to answer anything that they come up with. However, the board did move to take the decree for probation. So we are now in the midst of working with them, because while they put us on probation, they keep coming back saying, but we're willing to work with you. So we're not quite sure what that means, and we're just
Is
trying.
there some kind of monitoring or something that you need to do with them? Are they visiting you on some basis? Are
Says
there
6
reports that
months
you have
here,
to
the
do?
last one I saw.
Yeah, so that's actually two things.
This one says 18.
Yeah, the 6 months is the notice of deficiency that was at the last investigative outcome from the September 2014. As Mr. Hawkins stated, there were 2 outstanding issues that were more administrative.
Right.
One was there were missing meeting minutes.
That I saw in here.
Yes.
I hadn't seen the September 24th
Yeah,
letter
so
till
the
just
notice
now.
of deficiency is
So
6
what's
months
changed, I
to
guess,
correct.
since my package here?
Yeah, that's the
This-
new
Just
information
these
too, I
letters.
just realized, is the
So that-
probation. I knew about the consent and
Yeah.
salary.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
seeing probation.
So I guess that's what I just, catch me up from
Thank you.
the consent. I was good, understood what was occurring.
Right,
So now you're 18 months to include, so what are those specific stipulations?
We have not
We don't
yet
know.
entered into the specifics of the stipulations for that. So right now, it is currently stating a probation with 18 months.
Okay.
And there are some concerns over curriculum, clinical, simulation, and lab. However, we are able to provide some additional information to support our position on those as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask one quick question about the increased program? So you have their approval. Have you run it by your accrediting?
So that, we're in the process of that now. So yes, that we went through the state board first, and then it goes to AZPPSE, and then ACICS, and then after that, we can implement it.
And you'll update the Department of Ed as well for the revised link?
Yes.
Yes.
This is just free piece of advice. When you whatever program that you have is what you're being judged by, and in the current environment, that's obviously being watched very closely. If a lot of students graduate in less than the time, they will question whether this was a false length. So just be aware of the rate students are going through. If you end up having like the majority of the students who end up finishing in, 8 or 9 instead of the whatever you've done, you just don't look at it. So just make sure that the length that you came up with was very meaningful and is the one that is likely that at least the majority, if not the vast majority. Honestly, I don't know which would cause a question.
Yeah, so absolutely. And when we proposed this, coming up with this proposal, we looked at our outcomes for our students. And based on the calculation that the state board uses, the students were only taking 4 semesters as calculated by the State Board of Nursing to finish their nursing core concentration courses. So with the revised curriculum that you have, it's still 4 semesters of general education. We didn't change that. However, we increased the nursing concentration to 6 semesters. And our data shows that most of our students, the majority of them, finish within the 150%, which you're more familiar with. And that was 6 semesters for the students. So it was based on our data that we created these changes.
Since you know about nursing, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, no, it does. I'm just, this new information is throwing me, so because it's on, and we don't have enough. I was inclined, quite frankly, not to open a complaint, but I think there's so many
Yeah,
outstanding.
we just received it this morning
Yeah,
ourselves.
no, I'm not
Yeah.
saying you did not, but I think I'm inclined just to get you to come back and report where you're at with this.
Sure, I mean, we're willing to work with the board.
That's just some type of reporting function?
Yeah, so it looks like they have 45 days to sign or do something. Is
Yes.
there a way to have, like, sort of an update?
That's what we
45
usually
days
open
or
a
60
complaint to do
days?
so, but.
It's probably easier to monitor it with a complaint number and that it's counted a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to do it
Diligent.
because it
And you
seems.
can always dismiss it if things work out. but-
Well, that's what I'm thinking, but where we're sitting, I haven't formed a motion, is that, again, I think again, I don't profess to know what our sister board, the Arizona State Board of Nursing, is doing behind this thing. If you have those kind of results, I don't know. So, but until we see that as a Consumer Protection Board, I think we need to open a complaint for that.
Well, I promise you, they will send us everything that they have. from the
Okay.
Board of Nursing.
Okay. So I want to be able to take a look at that before we make a thing to dismiss. So I'll form if there's no more discussion, I'll form a motion. I make a motion that we open a complaint for Brookline College for possible violation of Arizona Statute 32-3051, failure to comply with all state and federal laws relating to operating in the private post-secondary education.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Thank you very much. Do you understand that what we did, it's just so we can get you back here when we
Totally.
have some more exposure on this piece, okay?
Totally, thank you very much for your
Thank you
time.
for coming. Thank you. Okay, moving on our agenda items. Agenda item 4 is determination to open a complaint at Prescott College. Mr. Blanchard?
Mr. Chair, members of the complaint committee, on September 8, 2015, board staff received a complaint. Complainant submitted this complaint regarding issue of a thesis from January 2008. There's 2 issues staff had in reference to deciding to open a complaint. One is a 3-year statute of limitations for last date of attendance, which this is clearly passed. And 2, the issue of academic integrity and the board's position on investigating academic complaints when the institution follows its published policies. Here to answer any of your questions from Prescott College is Dr. Paul Burkhart, and complainant, who is from California, SC, may or may not be on the phone.
Okay. I think from my seat, I don't know my committee members think, I think we need to, I'm just going to I'll make a motion to go into executive session to obtain legal advice on this.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, okay, what that means is everybody's got to take all their stuff and exit the door. We'll call you back in. And that means take all your bags, purses, anything of that nature.
For those of you who are on the line, I'm going to have to hang up. You could go ahead and call back in and wait until we dial back in. Thank you.
Anything?